Some seasons break your heart. But this one feels like it's testing the soul of every Falcons fan alive. The Falcons march into another week carrying the weight of a restless city on their backs. New York awaits, cold, loud, unforgiving, but the truth is even heavier. Atlanta is running out of chances. Two struggling teams, one vulnerable moment, and an opportunity the Falcons cannot afford to waste. All season long, the Falcons have played down to teams they should have crushed, letting close games slip away like sand through their fingers. But now, the Jets stand in front of them, wounded, beatable, and desperate. And for the Falcons, this game isn't just a matchup, it's a crossroads. The questions circling this team feel louder than the stadium roar. And the first question hits the heart of everything. Can Kirk Cousins actually carry this team to the playoffs? Kirk has the mind. He has the experience. He has seen every blitz, every disguise, every trick a defense can throw at a quarterback. And when he's calm and clean, he can guide an offense with precision. But there's a shadow over him now, age, injuries, and a body that doesn't move the way it used to. Every time he drops back, it feels like a coin toss. Will he find the open man, or will a collapsing pocket swallow the drive whole? And the season isn't getting easier. Ahead waits a gauntlet of quarterbacks playing the best football of their lives. Darnold lighting it up. Stafford looking reborn. Baker fighting like every throw is his last. If Kirk stumbles even once, everything can spiral. Yes, he can outduel the journeyman. He can win the games he should win. But beating the future? Matching firepower with firepower? That's where faith begins to crack. At best, Kirk might drag this team to a split down the stretch. A fight to the end. A record that leaves Atlanta staring at the playoff picture from just outside the glass. Then came the next question, the one that shakes the foundation even more. Is Robert Saleh the answer if Raheem Morris is replaced? Saleh is fire and fury. A motivator. A defensive mind built to inspire men who live for violence between the whistles. His players loved him, even as the building around him burned. He walked into chaos with the Jets and never lost the locker room. But he could never outrun the storm created by a broken roster, fractured leadership, and a franchise that couldn't get out of its own way. Would he fit in Atlanta? Maybe. Would he be perfect? No one knows. Not yet. Then, a deeper question, one that doesn't just cut into the present, but the future of the entire franchise. Will there be a quarterback competition next year? Right now, only two names matter, Michael Penix Jr. and Kirk Cousins. And reality is cruel. Kirk, unless he goes on the run of his life, is likely gone, a $35 million door swinging shut behind him. That leaves Penix alone, the future staring at him, the franchise weight ready to fall. But there is one path, one thin, fragile path, where Cousins stays. If he catches fire. If he puts this team on his shoulders. If he steals victories when everything feels lost. If he finishes the season 6-2 as a starter. Then Atlanta will have a real decision. Then the whispers become a storm. Then a true quarterback battle rises. For now, the Falcons walk into New York with uncertainty swirling around them, but also with a sliver of hope. A sliver that might be all they need. The truth about the Falcons' future sits on a knife's edge, and Kirk Cousins is the one standing right on top of it. If he finishes strong, if he somehow turns this season into a resurrection story, he forces Atlanta into the toughest decision they've faced in years. But if he slips, if he gives them nothing more than a .500 stretch of empty hope, then the door closes quietly behind him, and the Falcons move forward without looking back. Even Raheem Morris hinted at it. The Falcons need to rethink how they approach the quarterback position. Not with fear. Not with hesitation. But with the cold, ruthless clarity of a franchise trying to rebuild its identity. And when you look at what's waiting on the schedule, you see exactly why. Seattle. Los Angeles. Tampa Bay. Three teams that punish every mistake, every hesitation, every late throw. But then there are the softer spots. The Jets, the Cardinals, the Saints, games where the Falcons should control the field, where Kirk could build momentum or lose it all. It creates a strange tension, because every week now feels like an audition. Kirk isn't just fighting for wins. He's fighting for his future. And if he falters? Then the spotlight shifts, hard, onto Michael Penix Jr. A rookie with a powerful arm, a calm presence, and the weight of sky-high expectations growing heavier every day. The Falcons drafted him to inherit the throne, but timing matters. And right now, the entire franchise is stuck between two worlds. Is Penix the future today? Or next year? Or the moment Kirk falls for good? Nobody, not the coaches, not the fans, not even Penix himself, will know the truth until the offseason finally cracks open and exposes the Falcons' real intentions. If you asked me right now who I believe will open next season as the starter? Penix. That's the path that feels inevitable, unless Cousins explodes into greatness over these final weeks. But deep down, there's another possibility lingering in the shadows. A possibility nobody wants to say out loud. It might be either of them. It might be someone new. A quarterback we haven't even mentioned yet, because this franchise has entered a stretch where anything could happen. Before the next wave of fan questions rolled in, one more topic hit the room like a spark: Kyle Pitts. Is he staying? Or is this the end of the story? Some fans want him extended. Some want him tagged. Some want him gone altogether. But no matter what side you're on, one thing is clear: the Falcons are approaching a turning point, not just at quarterback, but across the entire identity of this team. The decisions coming will shape the next 5 years of Falcons football. And right now, nobody is safe. Kyle Pitts walked onto the field last Sunday and gave the Falcons something they've seen far too often: a disappearing act. Some weeks, he looks unstoppable, a mismatched nightmare, a walking highlight waiting to explode. Other weeks, he fades into the shadows like he was never part of the plan at all. And the truth hurts. Atlanta can't keep waiting for him to become the superstar they believed he would be. It feels like everyone is reaching the same conclusion: the team may be ready to move on. Not out of anger, but exhaustion. You can't build a future on unpredictability. Then came the next question, the one every fan thinks but rarely says out loud: could the Falcons sneak into the first round? The answer hit like a cold slap of reality. To get a first-round pick, you need first-round value. Who on this roster carries that kind of weight? Drake London? Bijan Robinson? And who else? Are you really willing to part with a franchise cornerstone just to move up the draft board? Kirk won't bring you that. Penix won't bring you that. Most of the roster won't bring you anything close. You could get second or third rounders. Arnold Ebiketie, for example, would fetch something solid. But a first? Not without sacrificing a star. As the questions kept rolling in, the truth about this team began to feel heavier. Why didn't they run this offense last year? No one has an answer, not a real one. Maybe the coaches were stubborn. Maybe the quarterback was hesitant. Maybe everyone was afraid to break the structure until the season forced them to. But the moment they finally opened up the playbook, it felt like a completely different team. A team that actually knew who it wanted to be. Then came the question about Brandon Ayuk, a player with talent so sharp it cuts through defenses. But talent isn't the only story. Behind the scenes, there's fire, conflict, frustration. Ayuk can transform an offense, but he can divide a locker room just as quickly. Do the Falcons really want to walk back into that? And finally, the question about the Rams: if they lock the number 1 seed, would they rest their starters? Not a chance. Not yet. They'll fight for every inch until the standings force them to take their foot off the gas. The last question of the day came with a name unfamiliar to most: Takerio Davis. A 6 feet 4 inches corner with the wingspan of a pterodactyl. A player built to battle giants like Mike Evans twice a year. There's something intriguing there. Something worth studying. Something that could one day change a defense. And with that, the mailbag closed. But the feeling in the room lingered. The Falcons aren't just answering questions. They're standing at the edge of a season that could reshape the franchise. A season filled with uncertainty, painful truths, and decisions that will echo for years. Atlanta fans know it. You can feel it. Every game, every snap, every rumor feels heavier now. Because this isn't just football season. This is the turning point.